Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Senor.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we're taking a look at Trial of the Temples.
Which is a game from Emperor S4 designed by Michael Mihilsik and Waimin Ling.
It plays from 2 to 4 players in 30 to 60 minutes.
So, another Emperor S4 game. We haven't really reviewed a lot of them, but we have been playing their games throughout the last couple of years, some of them here and there, and they usually make some interesting, good games.
Yeah.
This is the first we are reviewing, right?
Yeah, that's true. We feel like we've gotten some solid games from them.
They do make some solid games. None of them have been like my favorite games, but let's see if this is going to change that, or let's see if this is just a solid game. Let's see it's a bad game.
We hope not.
No, so in Trial of the Temples,
know, so.
You are in Temple Land. No, you're in Trial Land, which is the most fun thing. It sounds like a Mario level. This is the best thing about the rulebook, but you are in Trial Land, and you are these kind of magicians trying to do trials by paying resources, because that's what you do. You make resources and then you pay them and you jump over people. So in this game, basically it is a pretty, in its core, it's a basic game of getting resources and paying them to move up on tracks. But it has some interesting things. First of all, you have this kind of rondel of cards which have different resources on them and different bonuses. And you're going to flip some of them over each round depending on where this day and Mark. Mark is a guy who's just standing around. Day and night marker is going to be. That's where I got Mark from. And you're going to flip over some cards depending on that. And then the first player is going to place his druid. And then the next player is going to place his druid, and you're going to place them around on these cards. And then this is super interesting. You are going to get the resources from the card you're standing on, getting the bonus from that, then the resource, and then all resources from cards to the right and to the left from where you're standing until you hit somebody else. So you can basically, where you place is really, they also not telling where, but not only showing which resources you will get, but blocking off people from getting other resources. Super interesting. And then you're going to use those resources, and you also get action markers. So you need action markers to do actions. And you're going to use those resources to move on tracks. But this is also a really interesting thing, because on the track, you have to pay the resources to go to the next space. But there's only room for one disc of each color, like one player's disc on each space. So you can basically, if everybody's lined up nice, you can jump 4 spaces just by paying one thing. So you jump over everybody who is in front of you. So this is really interesting when I feel like, oh, do I really want to go one more? Because if I go one more, then you can basically jump all the way to the top of this and get a lot of points, because it's where you get most of your points. You also have a board of spells where you get these core spell cubes, like you can use that to unlock spells. Here's also a puzzle of different colors, so you only can have one of each of these colors in each row and column, and you are unlocking different special abilities, different one-time uses, and different points. And this is basically what you're going to do. You're going to continue doing that for 5 rounds, and after that you're counting out the points, and the player with the most points is the winner of Trial of the Temples.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
It's pretty light, but it has some really interesting mechanisms. But before we talk about that, let's talk about the rulebook, which I have here. This is a rulebook. It is in 2 different languages, so the rulebook is 8 pages long. It is a simple game, which is a lot of these, even the heavier kind of big box Emperor S4 games are pretty simple. And this also has a nice layout. It has nice rules. Really good explanation on that. Examples. There was a couple of things that I didn't find, but that was just because I didn't read closely enough. But there was one rule which we like, how can we find that? And then somewhere hidden it was there, but I had to read the whole rulebook to find out again. But that is basically a rulebook. It's a good rulebook. Nothing fantastic, nothing bad, just a good rulebook. So what do you think about the artwork and components for Trial of the Temples?
I think they're nice.
Nice.
I think the way that he's designed these cards to lay in this circle looks good. And all these like little gems and cubes have vibrant colors. There's nothing like that much to say about it. It's just nice.
It looks good. It looks nice. Good quality components. Everything is just fine.
Yeah.
It's good. The artwork is cool. I like the different places, which is really nice on all the cards around. You're basically going to a location. Really abstract, but this location looks really good. So it is a nice looking board. It's also really functional. So nothing bad to say about that, basically.
Yeah. We thought we struggled a lot with the numbers on the tracks in the
Oh, yeah.
beginning because we were blind and didn't see like that it had lines around it.
Yeah, like there was like an area that was worth 3 points, an area that was worth 10 points.
Yeah.
It was really frustrating, but it's like the 10 is a different space here. Which space is the 10 points? And that was like super infuriating until I was like, it's super clear.
Yeah, and when you see it, it's super obvious.
Yes. If you play this game and you thought that, go back and see, and you're like,
Yes.
Yeah. they did think about the graphic design of that. But probably if we both of us didn't see it, somebody else had played this game and didn't see it as well.
I guess so. Yeah.
So go check that out if you have played the game and you're like, I don't know how many points I got. Go and check it out and you will know. Yay! Happy times.
So playtime and player counts.
Yes, we have played this game at 2 and 4 players. There is this kind of like a 2-player version where you play with a dummy. We didn't play that. What did you think about the 2-player game?
I think it was okay, but I remembered like, this would be super cool with 4 players or 3 players. It definitely is a game that shines with player interaction because that's such a big part of this game.
Yeah, I basically said that before we played it. I said like, okay, we should try it with 2. It's probably going to be a lot more interesting with more, but just like check it out how it is with 2 players.
Yeah, it wasn't boring.
No,
it wasn't bad.
I enjoyed it with 2. I wouldn't buy it to play it with 2.
Yeah.
Because there's so many other great games to play with 2. But I enjoyed it with 2. But when after we played 4, I would never go back.
Yeah.
Because that's where like the game shines. The interaction of jumping over different people. You don't get that too much in a 2-player game.
Nope.
You also don't get the blocking of the resources. Basically, you're going to get quite a few resources when you play 2-player games.
That's true.
So it's a really tight game in that like when play 4 players, it's super tight. It plays in about an hour, which is a great length, I think.
Yeah. It
don't feel too long for me.
No, it doesn't, and it doesn't feel like a race. But sometimes you really want to. The timing is super critical to what you can do because maybe I see that you're moving up on the red track, and I really want to go just after you, so you get to like pay the resources
that
and
you don't have.
I just skip that space, or you have to do it first. Sometimes because then if you do it first and you land on that space, I have to pay for the next thing, and I can't afford that. I think this is super interesting, especially with 4.
It's a very interesting game. It can lend to like some kind of not king making, but some kind of screwing some people more over than others, like especially in the choosing of their locations.
Yes,
it's where that can happen, especially like when you're first. In that part of the game, which I think is like the balancing of the playing order, is that when you're first, it's not really good to be first in place in that, but it's good to be first at doing the actions.
Yeah.
So when you place, you will be like, I don't know what I need, but I will get this location. So you get like the location you need, but you don't know if you're gonna get a lot more stuff. But you will get if you get few stuff. If you get from few locations, you will get some mana, which you then can use to turn into different resources and do different free actions with mana.
Yeah, it feels balanced because you can't like block a player in, so you'll always get cards, resources from at least 2 cards.
3, with the one you're standing on.
No, that's not true. At least 2, because one of them can be blocked on the one side.
Oh yeah, true.
But not
true.
completely.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
So that seems balanced. And also like when you get the mana, like these pity things, you got few resources, here, have some mana, then you can turn it into something that you really need. And also, when you play 2 players, you get more resources, but it's much more expensive to get up on the tracks.
Yeah.
Because you can't jump over.
But it isn't as interesting with 2.
No, it isn't.
Like, because the interesting thing here is, like the most interesting thing here for me is the timing of that movement.
Yeah.
Is to see like, do I think you want to go up there? Because if you do, I should wait to turn more. But then somebody else jumps ahead. I'm like, no, I'm not going to be able to do that this turn. And that is the thing that is the most exciting about this game for me.
Yeah. I also really like because you can only get the purple resources from like exchanging mana or going to the cards that are on the flip side.
The night side. Or the mark side, which I
but on the mark side. So but you only get like all the other colored resources on the bright side, the sun side or something. Dayside.
Dayside, yeah, because night and day is kind of the opposites.
For almost all the spaces on these tracks, you need both of these. So you have to choose. Okay, what do I really need? How will I manage this? You really need to like prioritize.
And also, if you don't have some specific upgrades on your spellboard, you cannot keep anything from round to round.
Yes.
So you cannot be like, okay, this round I'm going to get some purple, and the next round I'm going to get these, because you can't do that. So these are really powerful as well. I enjoy the puzzle of the spellboard, like choosing which spells you want, and also choosing the spells that gives you points, because you want those rows of 3 and 4 in a row or a column. It's going to give you quite a few points.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy that as well. I love this game quite a bit. I like it. I like this game. So replayability.
I think it's nice. I imagine that it will be different from time to time how the other players move, and then it will feel a little different. But it's not like groundbreaking differences.
No, so we talked about this like a couple of reviews ago, like to change replayability to variability, like this into one thing.
Yeah.
Because the variability here isn't really big. You have like a small different player power on your player board, which is going to be different. But other than that, like it's a 1 hour game, which makes it more replayable because it is easier to get out and you can play it with 4 players in an hour, and it is quite a bit of fun. And I think you can. It's not really a lot of strategies to go for. Like it's not like, oh, this time I'm going to try this strategy and go on this temple instead, because all of them are the same. They're just different resources. So it's basically you're doing the same thing every game. So the interaction, it was will make it fun to play many times, like the interaction with different players and to try to outmaneuver your opponents is basically what will make it interesting to play more. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I just thought about outmaneuver your components.
I almost said that, yeah, and I tried to keep it back, but you had to tell them. I said so many wrong things anyway, so.
Yeah, I think so, because when you're like just looking at the tracks and looking at your board of spells that you want to fill up, you can, if it hadn't been for the player interaction, I think you could game this game.
Oh yeah.
Because I think you could find some combos that really work and like some order that is best to do it with, but you can't do it because players will play and you have to like...
Because players will play.
Players going to play. I don't know. Yes.
Is that a song or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I remember it now. Players gonna play. Is that one, yeah?
I don't know if she's singing that, but now she does. Okay. But yeah, you have to... It's a tactical game, so you have to seize the opportunities and also try to work with the... what you got from the draft kind of style
the
in the beginning.
Resources, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I like it as well.
I think the interaction is almost the whole game.
Yeah.
Like that's the reason why the 2-player game is kind of meh compared to the 4-player game. It worked as a game, like it was
It's a solid game.
But I would never play it again with 2, like because there's other games to play. If I had no other games, I would play it.
And it really shines with 4 players.
Yeah, with 4 players, that's really tight, super good.
Yes.
So should we do some final thoughts?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you want to start?
Yes, I can start.
You start this time. Go ahead.
I just think this is fun and it doesn't overstay its welcome because of this tension that builds up, because you really wanna, and it feels so tight because you're just like, oh, I'm literally 1 mana away from getting to the next step that gives me this cube, because I really need that cube, because then I can do this spell and then I can turn my all of the colored resources into the purple ones that I really need, and I really like this game, and I'm going to rate it at 7.5.
Okay, cool. I think this is a solid game. I like it quite a bit. I think it has some interesting concept that we have talked about, both the placement and the like drafting the area, I kind of like an I choose you split kind of thing.
I split you choose.
I split you choose. Yeah, that's true. A kind of that mechanism made into a rondel, which works really nice. I like that. I also like the fact that you're jumping over each other, which is like these kind of. It's a very interactive game, but it doesn't feel mean. Like it's not a mean interactive game.
No.
It's very fun. I think this is one game I want to keep. I'm also going to give it a 7.5. It's a very solid game. not like up there of the best games ever. Don't know when I will feel the need to play it again, but I want to keep it for this is a game I would like to be able to play sometime.
Yeah, there's
In that
nothing
category.
really negative to say about this game because it's solid.
Yeah, there's really, like, if you don't like interaction, you won't like the game.
No, you
But I
won't.
don't think if there's anything like negative in the design. I think the design is really
And I think
pure. It's
they've
really
done
simple.
some unique things as well with it. It feels really fresh.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Yeah.
So that is that.
Yeah.
That's the end of the video. If you're still here, please subscribe to our channel. And if you want to support us, go to check out our Patreon page, which you can find a link to in the description
His
of this
name
video.
is Mark.
Mark is on Patreon. Is he on Patreon?
Yes.
I don't know. If you need Mark, you have to support us on Patreon now.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But that's the end of that video, right?
It is.
Cool. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
And I'm Cinema.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.